When you've made art for a long time, you start noticing the little things that you do that may not necessarily be intentional, but is something that you are subconsciously really interested in. And one of those things for me is trying to make a circle from a straight line. The dog asked to be let in and now he's asking to be let out again. Excuse me. He thought that something exciting was going on in here, and it's not that exciting. Come on, out you go. Keep going, all the way out the door. So yeah, where was I? Circle from a straight line. I thought about this the other day in relation to the artwork that I want to talk about in this video, but also because I was preparing a version of Taylor Swift's Mirrorball to play at my local open mic on piano. So I'm going to play the little chorus part that I came up with on the piano just behind me now, and I wanted it to sound like a mirror ball was spinning around. So a little bit something like that. So what I'm doing there in my right hand is I'm going down in a straight line with my pinky finger. So B, D, B. B, D, A. B, D, G. B, D, F. A, D, E. A, D, F sharp. A, D, G. A, D, A. So I'm going down the keys, then up the keys, so a straight line, but the way I'm playing it hopefully sounds like something is spinning around. And what I'm doing there is the same thing that I was trying to do in this exhibition that I talked about in last week's video, my exhibition Between Two Worlds that was held in 2016 about the New Horizons mission to Pluto. On one side of the room I had all these Pluto portraits, for want of a better word, and on the other side of the room I had all the Charon portraits. So Pluto and Charon are a binary system. So Pluto, the dwarf planet, and Charon is technically a moon of Pluto, but they're in an orbit locked to each other, so their faces are always facing each other, but they're spinning around, so they're spinning around together in this kind of weird little cool orbit. And I wanted to talk about that in the exhibition without necessarily immediately pointing it out. I imagined them as spinning like a ballerina, but always facing each other the whole time. So I hung the exhibition in a way that they're just facing off against each other. And what I'm going to try and insert into this video here is a little stop motion animation type thing of those paintings and what I imagined they were doing in my head. Hopefully it will work. I painted these paintings in a time where people weren't videoing their every art move. So all we've got is this little time-lapse video that I made as a promo thing while I was doing the exhibition, and my photographs of the artwork. And so I've got these paintings of these beautiful images of Pluto and Charon And I had this idea of the turn in my mind, this pirouette, this spin. And so I have paired each of them with a sonnet. And a sonnet is written in a way that it has a turn at the end. It's a very strict structure of, I can't remember now, 12, 13, 14 lines. There are a couple of different versions, but the way that a lot of them are set up is they start out with the main body of the poem and then they have a turn in the poem. And the reason that I chose sonnets for these is because they have that turn and because these solar bodies are turning and spinning and all of this just trying to make a circle from a straight line. I've done this before as well, hopefully I can find pictures of it, but I wanted to draw a picture of a black hole in a copy of Moby Dick, which I don't have anymore. I think I got rid of it when I moved overseas. But there's this chapter in Moby Dick called The Whiteness of the Whale, chapter 42, and it's my favourite chapter in the whole book. Most people hate this chapter, but I love it, and it's just this whole chapter talking about the colour white. So I had this copy of Moby Dick and I wanted to make a black hole in the chapter about the white whale, and I did it by drawing all these lines, and it didn't work, but the idea has stuck in my head of trying to make a circle from a line, or trying to make a sphere from a line, or a vortex from a line. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. And that's what I'm trying to do by hanging the paintings on opposite sides of the gallery facing off against each other while they turn from image to image. And what I'm trying to do by pairing the sonnet with each image, it's all this reference upon reference upon reference of a turn. I think I subconsciously brought that into other parts of the exhibition as well, like with some of the little artist books I made, particularly this one that I'll put on screen here somewhere. It's called A Crack in the Teacup Opens, A Lane to the Land of the Dead, which is a line that I lifted from a W.H. Auden poem. And this artist book is made from cigarette papers. So they've got cigarette papers come with this little fold in them, and they've got a little gummed edge, which makes them really cool for making like a little sculpture like this. And across the centre of these images is the crack that runs across the centre of the moon Chiron. And also in this work, I'm coming up with all of this off the top of my head, trying to remember what I was thinking about 10 years ago when I was making it. But I first learned of that W.H. Auden poem as I walked out one evening from the film Before Sunrise, where Ethan Hawke's character Jesse quotes this poem to Celine. And so also written on that artist book is part of that script. I wonder how long my husband had been tapping his feet up there while I was making this video. We'll see. But I wanted to share them this week because we've got Valentine's Day coming up and there's this beautiful heart on these paintings, but more important for me for this day in February, I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day because today is my anniversary. And so I wanted to make this little video today to talk about these artworks and to talk about that spin and that turn. I've got another artwork in my collection that I made even longer ago than these paintings that is very referential to this turn, this making a circle or a vortex from a straight line, that is very referential to mine and my husband's relationship. But maybe I will show you that one a little bit further down the track. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment and share if you want to see that video sometime in the future about that particular artwork. I've got some really exciting things coming up in the pipeline. I've got a print drop coming up at the end of February, which I talked about in my last video, and that is in the final stages of finishing that up now. So it will be ready for February 26th, so make sure you subscribe to see that artwork when it comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.